Okay, we're going to take a little break from the Michigan versus NCAA saga for the ACC predictions. Welcome in, everybody. I'm the Dependent Fanatic, and stay tuned. I'm going to give you every team's record in the ACC and the conference champion, plus Notre Dame's record because they are kind of affiliated with the ACC. So here we go. Yeah, we're going to put the Michigan stuff aside for now. No, there's nothing has come down. ESPN's Pete Thamel says it's not going to be an issue, all that. So anyway, we'll put that aside. How many teams is the ACC going to get into the college football playoff? Find out here coming up. All right, I'm going to start with Cal, and hopefully I can make this a quick video. I'm not going to give you too much detail, but I have researched all these teams, and this is what I have come up with. I've already done the Big Ten and the SEC conference predictions. So here we go with the ACC. Cal. Justin Wilcox is in his 8th year at Cal. His record is 36-43 overall. 21-37 was he in the Pac-12. I believe they go 2-10, 0-8 in the ACC, and UC Davis and San Diego State are their 2 wins. Can they beat Oregon State, Syracuse, and Stanford at home? I don't think so. He's now in the ACC with only Stanford from the West Coast joining them here. There will be a lot of traveling long distances for this team. I don't think it bodes well this year for Justin Wilcox and Cal. So there you go. UVA, University of Virginia. Tony Elliott is in his 3rd year at Virginia. His record is 6-16. 3-12 in the conference. While he is doing that, others are getting better. The cream is rising to the top. They'll go 2-10 as well. 0-8 in conference. Wins versus Richmond and Maryland is a surprise upset for them at home. Are there 2 wins? Could they beat Boston College? Maybe. Another 0-8 team in conference. That's right. So there are going to be some more top-heavy teams here in the conference duking it out. And I'll let you know which ones get into the conference championship game. But right now it's Duke. Manny Diaz is in his 1st year at Duke, and he is going to struggle in year 1. I think I like the hire, but maybe a bowl game next season. Remember, Texas A&M wanted Elko, and no one wants this guy. No, I'm kidding. But I'm kidding. But 3-9 this season for Duke is my prediction. Elon, Connecticut at Homer wins, and at Middle Tennessee. Like I said, it's going to be rough in year 1. All right, Boston College is next. We're working our way from the worst teams to the best teams. Jeff Hafley, or is it Bill O'Brien? Took me a minute, but Bill O'Brien is the guy, right? I think. He was 15-9 and 10-6 in the Big Ten at Penn State in college. Then came his NFL struggles as a head coach, but he is now Boston College's head coach. I think they go 4-8, 1-7 in conference. Duquesne, I gave him Michigan State at home, with Western Kentucky, and at Virginia. Could they beat Pitt, Syracuse, and North Carolina to make a bowl game? I think they could, but I don't have it. So, Syracuse is next. Fran Brown is a first-time head coach that previously was at Georgia and was the number 1 recruiter for them in the nation in 2023. Bringing in Kyle McCord at quarterback and from the transfer portal from Ohio State was an early indicator that he can get guys on campus, but will they make a bowl? Yes, I think they do. 6-6 this year, 2-6 in conference. Wins versus Ohio, Holy Cross, at UNLV, at Boston College, at Cal, and Connecticut should all be wins for Syracuse. Georgia Tech and Stanford are possible, but I have 6-6 for the Cuse. Pittsburgh is next. Pat Narduzzi is 65-50 at Pitt and 43-31 in the ACC. So he's above ground in conference so far. Since the 2021 11-3 season and ACC title, though, he has gone 9-4 in 2022 and 3-9 last year. This just goes to show you anyone can win the ACC. They can creep up at any moment. Narduzzi says he just thinks it's fun. It's fun being at Pitt. 6-6, I think they go. They make a bowl. 4-4 in conference. Wins versus Kent, Youngstown State, Cal, Syracuse, Virginia, all at home, and then at Boston College. And another 6-6 team. Dave Clawson at Wake Forest is in year 11. I think he is 63-61, so just above 500 there. 30-49 in the ACC. He had a similar record with Fordham, Richmond, and Bowling Green. Is Wake Forest an outlier from those types of teams? He also went 11-3, similar to Pat Narduzzi in 2021, and then 8-5 in 22, and 4-8 last year. So he's going the wrong way. But I think they get wins versus North Carolina, NCAT, whatever that is. Virginia, Louisiana, at Connecticut, and then they'll be Cal at home and Duke at home. Can they lose to Louisiana, though, and miss out on a bowl? I think it's possible, but 6-6. All right, the rest of these teams are safely bowling, I believe, making it 13 of 17 conference members going to a bowl game from this conference. Georgia Tech is going to go 7-5. Brent Key is in year 3 at Georgia Tech. He was 4-4, then 7-6 in his first 2 seasons. This guy beat North Carolina and Miami in his second year. This team should be as good or better than last year, but you play 5 really good teams, and that's what your losses are going to be. Okay, I've told you what teams' wins are going to be. Now we're talking losses. All right, Georgia Tech goes 7-5, 5-3 in conference. Losses to Florida State in a neutral site, at Louisville, Notre Dame at home, at Virginia Tech, and at Georgia. So no shame in those losses. They will go bowling. All right. Next up, North Carolina. Mac Brown was great the first time he was at North Carolina. 3 10-win seasons, 8 bowls in 10 years. He left U for Texas and won a national title, and they didn't want him anymore, so you took him back. It's his second term at North Carolina. Best is 9 wins in 5 years, and he is 24-18 in the ACC during his second stint. I think they make 8 wins. 8-4 is what I have them. 5-3 in conference. Their losses are going to be at Minnesota, Georgia Tech at home, at Florida State, and North Carolina State at home. Stanford. Troy Taylor is in year 2 at Stanford. He went 3-9 in year 1. But why not a trip to the bowling alley with the schedule they have? Most of the winnable games are at home, and I like his background at Sacramento State. Wait, Sac State. That sounded wrong, but anyway, it's supposed to be a joke. I missed it. Can they go 8-4? That's what I have. 5-3. Losses at Clemson, at North Carolina State, at Notre Dame, and Louisville. Sure, some of you might turn off this program right now just because of Stanford. Well, stay tuned because we have more to come. Winner predictions and whatnot. So SMU, Rhett Lashley is 18-9 after 2 years, including 13-3 in the American Conference. What can he do in the ACC? He's now in the ACC, and I think he knows what he is doing there at that program. Remember, they used to be great in the olden days with before the death penalty. What was that running back? They had a couple running backs there that were great. Escaping my mind, but they're going to go 9-3, 5-3 in conference as well. Losses to Florida State, at Louisville, and at Stanford, but they'll win. It's a few wins here that makes it intriguing as far as tiebreaker and as far as could wins versus BYU, TCU, Duke, and Pitt amount to anything? No, but we're getting closer. And now the top six. NC State is in the top six. Dave Dorn is in his 12th year coming up. He is 81-58 overall, but he's 44-46, which is under 500 in the ACC. Can NC State break through or be 6-2? They'll be 6-2 in conference. 9-3 though overall, 6-2 in conference. Losses to Tennessee in a neutral site, at Clemson and at Georgia Tech. I think they beat North Carolina as one of their good wins against their rival. All right, Clemson. Mr. Our guys are good enough is wrong. Get some transfer people while you can, while you still have a name brand, Dabo. No arguing his record, though. 170-43 at Clemson, 103-23 in the ACC. He has 8 ACC titles and 2 national titles in 16 years there. 9-4 last year is not a blip in the radar. He'll have his 5th season without 10 wins and the 2nd straight this upcoming season because he will go 9-3, 6-2 in conference. Losses to Georgia in a neutral site, at Florida State, at Virginia Tech. Wins versus NC State, Stanford, Louisville, and at Pitt. We'll prop them up a bit. Probably will be a top 25 team. Miami is next. Mario Cristobal left Oregon for Miami. I don't think I'll ever know why that happened. He's 12-13 at Miami after 2 years, 6-10 in the ACC, including that blunder call versus Georgia Tech, I believe. Take a knee, you won the game. Oregon lucked out, really. But he has recruited well there at Miami. I think they go 9-3 as well. This conference is going to beat the heck out of each other. Multiple conference losses for most of these teams. But 9-3, 6-2 in conference for Miami. Losses to at Florida, at Louisville, and at Georgia Tech. Tiebreaker wins versus Virginia Tech and Florida State get them ahead of Clemson in the hierarchy of this conference. All right, top 3. Louisville. Jeff Brom has found a home at Louisville. Well, it's his alma mater. This guy made game plans to beat the top of the Big Ten, and that was with Purdue. He was 10-4 with a conference championship loss and bowl loss last season, but that was year 1. And Louisville, I expect him to keep it rolling there at Louisville. All right. I think they go 9-3 as well. 7-1 in conference, though. Losses to at Notre Dame, at Clemson, and at Kentucky, their in-state rival. But wins versus Georgia Tech, SMU, Miami, and at Stanford are looking good for them. At this point in time, I would like to tell you Notre Dame's record, because though they aren't in the ACC, they have that agreement of 5 ACC games per year, and they cannot participate in the ACC championship game. But I believe they are going to go to the playoff because they're going to have an undefeated record with their schedule. So 12-0 for Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman in year 3, I believe, beating up on some of these ACC teams. But they're not in the conference championship game. Who is it going to be? I think Virginia Tech has a chance. Brent Pry is 10-14 and 6-9 in the ACC, but he improved by 4 games from one season to the next. Virginia Tech has arguably the most production coming back that they've had quite a while. I think they go 10-2. But here's the thing. I think they go 6-2 in conference. This means that Louisville is in the conference championship game with 7-1 conference record. But Virginia Tech's losses will be at Miami and Stanford in conference. Could they beat Stanford? Yeah, to get them to that 7-1 threshold. But what? So now this leaves the question: what will Florida State do? Can they keep Virginia Tech out of the conference championship game? Yeah, they can. I think Mike Norvell and Florida State were not a fluke last season. It seems they have the best talent, and the coach is improving in this conference. Norvell has improved every year at Florida State, 31-17 overall. In the ACC, he went 2 wins to 4 wins, then to 5 wins, and then to 8 wins last year, his 4th season. I think they go 10-2 and 7-1 with a loss to Notre Dame and at Miami in conference. So that sets up a Florida State 10-2 versus Louisville 9-3 ACC Conference Championship game, and the first P4 championship that is not a rematch of the regular season. Like I said, I did the SEC and Big Ten. Both of those conference championship games were regular season rematches. Florida State and Louisville do not play in the regular season, so this will be interesting. But I believe Florida State wins their second ACC in a row. This match will give them an automatic qualifier this time, so they will be in the college football playoff. They will not get robbed this time. I assure you of that. They will be they'll be one of 5 actually, because they'll be one of 4 automatic qualifiers. The 4 top conference champions, and then it's actually 5 because there's an automatic group of 5 teams. So they'll be one of 5 teams, 5 of the 12 that will get into the playoff. Now that begs the question: how many other teams from the ACC can get in with the records that I have predicted? Everyone at this point would have 3 losses except Florida State and Virginia Tech, because Louisville got their 4th loss in the conference championship game. So could Virginia Tech sneak in with wins versus Rutgers, Georgia Tech, and Clemson with a 10-2 record? Probably not. I think the ACC is a 1-bid league this year. Yes, I'm talking March Madness lingo now because that's pretty much what we've created. It is madness now. So there you go. I think Florida State's a 1-bid league. I thought the Big Ten could get 4 or 5, 3 to 5 in. I thought the SEC could get 3 to 5 in. So at the minimum, there's 3 from the SEC, 3 from the Big Ten, 1 from the ACC. That's 7. We still have to do the Big 12, and then there's a group of 5. So there are some opportunities for Florida State to be able to sneak in. Plus Notre Dame, I said, was going to be in. That only leaves half the field, 6 spots for the rest of the teams to fill. Thank you everybody for tuning in. If you watched this far, go ahead and like the video. Share with other people on social media or through word of mouth. Subscribe if you haven't. And have a great day. But most importantly, go blue. Thank you everybody.